Okay, now what I'm planning to do here is I'm going to create the drivetrain, and I have this little timer in the corner here, and I'm going to time myself how long it takes me to do everything, because I think that's kind of interesting to compare the two. Although now I realize that the timer will be available in the video, but it's kind of nice to just have it here for reference. I didn't include the loading time for Solidworks in this, which can be a while. For me, it took about 3 minutes to get everything loaded, but I think for some of us it takes something like 10 minutes. You load Solidworks, you leave the room, go do something else, you come back. It's like, oh, Solidworks is loaded. You don't have to do that with Onshape. Okay, so I have all of my step files ready. The only thing I'm not going to use a step file for is the Versa frame. I'm going to create that myself because I want to have some part that I'm creating to demonstrate the differences in part creation, and then I'll assemble everything. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to create a standard 30 by 30 chassis. I'm not going to worry about excess. I'll start with a rectangle. This will be my front and back. Oh, no, I don't want to do it on the front plane. Let me exit the sketch. Okay, so again, I'm going to do a rectangle. I'm going to do it on the side, the right side, because I'm going to make this my front and back. Jump normal to, draw my rectangle, dimension it. So this should be 2 inches. And this should be 1 inch. And then I'll offset the rectangle by 0.1 inches because that is the wall size. And I want to invert that. So reverse, check here, and there we go. I have my inner piece, and then I'll extrude. And I'll make this, since the front and back, I'll make it 30 inches long. Okay, and then I have kind of the base of my Versa frame, and then I want to put holes in it. Oop, that's not what I want. Jump to the top view. I want to put those Versa frame rivet holes, so I'll draw a circle. I'll sketch on this plane. I want it to be in the middle here, so let me zoom in a bit. Snap to the midpoint. Dimension it. I have written down here the size of those holes is 0.163 inches, and then they should be an inch from the corner here. It could be an inch or half an inch depending how you cut it. I'll make it an inch because it'll just make the other end line up nicer. An inch. And then I want to make more of these before I extrude it through. I'm so used to controls for other programs, I've forgotten how to pan. But I remember my hotkeys, which is good. Okay. And then I want to pattern this. So linear sketch pattern. I'm going to pattern it just like this. I'm going to space them 1 inch apart because that's what it is on VersaFrame. I'm going to have, I believe it's 29 instances. Let me just zoom out so I can make sure it goes all the way to the end. Oh, no, 30 instances. Yep, that looks right. Spaced 1 inch apart. Looks good. Check. And then what I'll do is I will extrude. Ooh, no, I don't want to extrude. I want to extrude cut. So I want to go to features, extrude cut. I'll just do through all. Let me rotate to make sure it's going through. Good. And it selected all of them. Excellent. I'll hit check. And then my front Versa frame is donezo. Okay, so I'll save that. I created a folder for myself here. What did I call it? SolidWorks DriveTrain. Let's make this part called 01 front and back rail. Okay, say that. And then, my other my side rails are going to be pretty similar to this. So let me also just, kind of work off of this as I create my side rails, just as a time saver. So I'll save this as 02 side rail, or left and right rail, whatever we want to call it. So now I have two files, which is very convenient. I can go to my desktop and see that I have two separate files, and I'm working on the left and right rail now. So it's just like an easy shortcut. Okay, now I need to shorten this to 28 inches because I'm going to have my front rail up here and my back rail here, and the side rails fit in between, so it's going to be 28 inches long. So let me cut off an inch on each side, on the top, or just cut off 2 inches from one side. So sketch, rectangle on here. Ooh, that started in the wrong place. Start that again. Up here. Dimension this guy. 2 inches long. And then go to features and extrude cut this through all. Okay, now my side rail length is good, but I need to put bearing holes on the side here. So let me draw some circles. I'm going to need 3. I'm going to make a 6-wheel drive. So I'll draw 1 to start and pattern it. And the size of this hole should be the size of a bearing hole, which is 1.125. And then I will space it. My plan is to use 4-inch wheels for this. So I'm going to need to space this at least 2 inches apart. I'll give it a little extra, so I'll just, I'll set it at 2.5. And then what I'm going to do, I could linear pattern this. I could mirror to the other side. I'm going to draw a construction line because I want to do that here. So right in the center, draw a construction line. So that has no impact other than it's a construction feature. And then I will mirror this guy about this line. So I have a hole on the other side. And then I'll just draw a circle here. And then I would actually like these two to be equal. See if I can remember how to do this in SolidWorks. I'll just set its dimension. I forgot how to do it in SolidWorks, unfortunately. Set all of them to be equal. Okay, cool. The mirrored ones will automatically be equal. Extrude, cut those 3 circles. They're all in one sketch, so it'll be easy to cut through all. All right, so I have my side rail set up. Now I can start working on my assembly a little bit and put these rails together, and then start working on importing the wheels and such. So let me start, new, assembly, processing. Okay, and I'm going to, before I start importing stuff, actually I can just import the side rail. Why not? Place it. Let me just save this really quick before I do anything else. name it 00 SW drive. Okay, so I inserted that side rail. Let me also insert the front and back rail. Okay, I'll constrain these two to each other, I guess mate. So I'm going to want, actually let me fix this guy in place before I do anything else. Where is it? Is there a way to fix in SolidWorks? I'm forgetting now. It's been so long since I used this. I'll just leave it in place. Okay. Let me mate some stuff. So I'm going to mate the tops of these to be coplanar. I'm going to mate this face to that face. There we go. And hit enter. And then I want to mate this face and this face, but it's going to be offset by, I'm going to leave 3 inches because the wheels are about, well, 3 inches. So for this distance, I'll type in 3, but I need to flip it. Okay. Cool. Now these two should be fixed because, well, I have 3 mates between them, so I should be all good. Okay, good. Next, I will put in the other ones. I'm going to create some planes so I can mirror them. Front planes there, top planes there, right planes there. Got it. Okay. I'll just type in search commands plane. All right. So I'm going to put a plane halfway between here and the other side. So I'm going to have a nice mirror plane to work with. All right. And then I'm going to go assembly, mirror components. Okay. Planes auto selected. That's what I'm going to mirror. Hit check. And then puts the other one, and it's going to be already set up for me, all mated and everything. And then I need one for this front and back rail, so I will create another plane. Halfway between here. And I can just click on this. There we go. Hit check. Mirror this guy to the other side. Okay, we have kind of a chassis. Now we need to start inserting the wheels and the gussets and stuff. Okay, so let me go and import my step files. I'll start with the gussets. Okay. All right. Okay, let me mate this guy into place. Flip that. Is that right? That looks wrong. I want to flip that. Okay, good. Now let me do the following. Let me just get this and this lined. Flip. Start moving this guy into place so I can make sure the holes are in the right spot. I think this and this being concentric should do it for me. Cool. All right, so there's my gusset. Now what I can do is I can mirror for my mirror plane. Let me select this one and components to mirror this guy. Mirror again. Mirror plane now hit this way. Good. And then I'm going to need a new plane because I need to put gussets on the bottom. Okay. To trace quattro. Okay. Now we have gussets on the bottom. Very good. Let's decide what we want to put in next. Let's go to our step files. Let's do our bearings. Okay. Okay, let's put this guy in place. And then we can mirror them all over the place. The gearbox is going to be on one end, so I'm not going to put the bearings on that end. Actually, let me do the gearbox first before the bearings. So I'll just actually leave the bearing floating in the corner there, and I'll put it in later. I'm going to use a 3-sim ball shifter, as we usually use, with the West Coast Drive third stage. And I will put it at a far end of the drivetrain, again, like we usually do for our robots. This will probably take a non-short amount of time. Okay, here's my gearbox. Cool. Let me go back to my drivetrain. save real quick in case anything crashes. Insert ball shifter. Okay. And let's put this guy into place. So I'm going to put the ball shifter in. Ooh, I might not have left myself enough space. We'll figure it out. I'll move some holes around if I need to. I want to make this concentric with that. And I want to flip it around. If it'll let me. Cool. This should be able to drag this way. Zoom out a little bit. How can I set this up? I can't set it up this way. I have to have it rotated up like this. Or down. No, this way will work. I think this will fit. I hope this will fit. Okay, let me make some stuff parallel, so we'll see how everything looks. So, mate. I'm still in mate. Okay. What's flat here? Anything? This is flat. Looks like this face. And I'll make it parallel to this guy. And let me flip that. See how that looks. And if it's inside, I'll just change my side rail. Oop, that's not what I want. I want to flip it all the way around. Let me go back into that most recent mate and edit it. So it goes in the right direction. This is not what I want, is it? Is it? I guess this is what I want. Okay. I feel like this is not going to work right if I do it this way. But I do know I will have this mate to that. And that I'll have a bearing flush in there. I just want to do a quick measurement, make sure that this won't be on the ground. I feel like it will be. Yeah, it will be. So I'm going to change this a little bit. I'm going to move this hole in a bit so that things line up a little bit better. So I'm going to edit this guy because I don't want them to be parallel anymore. Perpendicular is what I want them to be. I want it facing this way or the other way. I want it the other way. Put -90, that'll work. -90, see what that looks like. Flip. Okay, that looks much better. And then I'll just change the location of this hole in the part. Let me finish this. Looks like it needs to move an inch, should do it. Okay, save. close this guy. I'm gonna close the stuff that's bound to crash everything. Do I want to update my main assembly? Yes, I do. Okay, that looks much cleaner. Let me close all these guys. Okay. Okay, we're good now, I hope. All right, now let me mirror this gearbox onto the other side. First, I'm just going to check, make sure nothing's colliding. Okay. Mirror plane. I believe it's plane 1. Components to mirror. Reset ball shifter. Oh, that's a problem. I guess I can't mirror it. I wonder if I can. No. I guess I'll have to insert another gearbox. That's a little annoying. Okay. Okay. Gearbox looks good. All right. Nothing's colliding. Now time for the bearings. So I'm going to put this bearing flush against this wall. Flip it around. And then make it concentric with this hole. Okay. Now I can pattern it to the other side. Mirror plane, I believe, is plane 2. Better to have renamed these, but at this point, I'm in too deep. Okay, put a bearing on the other side here. I hope in the right spot. Cool. Now I can do what I want to do. I need to make another plane. Hooray! Plane's my favorite. Okay, one here, and one here. Mirror this bearing. I could just, linear pattern bearings here, but I almost don't want to do that because if the location of stuff changes, that's not the best. Wonder if I could put a plane between the two holes. No way, right? No, that's terrible. All right, I guess I'll just linear pattern it, and if something changes later, I'll have to deal direction this way. Instances. Spacing. So I spaced it 3.5 inches from the end. The whole thing is 28 inches. Half of that's 14. 14 minus. Oh God, this is such a 14 minus 3.5 is 11.5. No, 10.5. Let's see if that works. Components to pattern. Uno. Due. Yeah, that does. I need to make the number of instances too, actually. And change the direction. Here we go. Okay, now that I have all the bearings on one side, I can pop them on to the other side. Mirror plane. I believe it's plane 1. Again, I usually rename these at the beginning to make my life easier, but for some reason I just didn't do that. I am remembering them pretty well, so that's something. Now they should all end up on the other side, just right. Okay, good. Okay, now I need to put in some hex shaft, and I realize I didn't prep that, so let me go and get some thunder hex ready. Thunder hex. CAD files. And I want these hex shafts to be 3 inches past on one side, an inch. I think 5 inches should be long enough. I can always change it later. So it's already 18 inches. So I will cut it down. Not being very cooperative, are we? And I'll just overshoot here just so I don't mess up, because all I care about is this length. So it's 18 inches right now. I want to take off 13. Wrong way. So I'll set this distance here. I guess I could have just made them coincident, but whatever, I'll just make it. Okay. Extrude, cut through all. This is a little bit gnarly the way I'm doing this, but hey, it works. I hope. Yep, it works. And then save as 0.35". So make it lowercase. X. All right. Insert thunder hex. Okay. And then put one in place and then mirror it. So make this concentric with the bearing. And then I'll make this, I'll have the thunder hex just extend all the way out to here. It would have been smart for me to have linear patterned this with the other thing, but done is done. Oh, I haven't selected the component to pattern. That's why it's giving me an error. Okay. All right, we're good. Thought I saw an error there, so I'm just going to go to the top and make sure there are none. No, we're clean. Good, 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 good. Let me close this all up because it's getting messy. I don't like that. Okay. And then I will mirror these to the other side. I could have done these all together if I was a little bit more, I guess, if I planned this a little bit better, I can make it much cleaner. Okay. Now let's do pulleys. Is this it? It's the bearing. Pulley. Here we go. Don't know why that took me so long to figure out. There it is. There's the pulley. Okay. Okay. So there's going to be one pulley. What I like to do is just make sure the pulley is, like, make sure I'm selecting the outermost point of the pulley, which I guess would be this. and I'm making it flush with that. And then I will make it concentric. Zoom in a bit. There we go. With anything around here. Is this Thunder Hex? No, it's not. Thunder Hex is a verb. I don't know if it is a verb. And I probably actually want to go back and I want to give this little space because I put them just right on top of each other. And I didn't select the most far out point. So I should just delete that mate entirely and clean it up. For something like this, I would put a 3D printed little spacer in there. I wouldn't put these flush against each other like that, but for what I'm doing here, it's okay. I want to make, I'm just going to do this. I will make this and this flush against each other. That should do enough to space it out. Yeah, space it out a bit. I normally would set up the hexagon to line up because I'm crazy like that. I want to do it because I'm talking about it. It's such a stupid little thing, but just lining it up just makes me happy. Now they spin together. Isn't that nice? Okay. Then I'll do the other ones here. So there's going to be one here, one out here, one here. Or I could just put two here, obviously, but I'm not going to do that. So let me linear pattern. Oh, I hate that I'm coming from different directions every time I linear pattern. That's really not the best. You could also do a thing, I think, where you squeeze a pulley in here, but I'm not going to mess with that for this one. Direction, components to pattern. Good. Then I'll mirror this one. Ooh, that's not my mirror plane. It's my component. My mirror plane, I believe, is like the last plane I made. I hope I'm on the right side of this thing. Yes, I am. Awesome. Rather be lucky than good. Cool. And then linear component pattern this direction, this guy. Cool, that should be all of my pulleys. Now I can mirror them all to the other side. Oh, interesting, it selected those last two for me automatically. Select more things. These two are already selected, awesome. Okay, and then for my mirror plane is plane 1. Okay, cool. So belt runs here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here. Very nice. Time for the wheels. Starting with the middle wheels, which will be my Coulson Performa wheels. Okay, close this pulley. Okay, insert component, Coulson wheel. These are 4-inchers. I just ended up using 4-inch because annoyingly, Vex Pro does not have 6-inch Coulson wheel CADs, and I didn't want to go through the headache. But I could use 6-inch ones with Onshape because I of course have those parts libraries. I'll offset these by just a little bit so they're not right up against each other. Again, I would use a spacer in real life, but I would put the spacer in the CAD as well. But we're just not going to do that for this one because it's not really. We're not going to go all out with this. I'm not going to put in belts. I'm just showcasing the differences here. I'm just making something that would be enough to construct. Components to mirror plane, I believe is plane uno. There we go. Next is my Omni wheel. And then I should be done. That's all I'm going to do on this. Omni wheels usually take a while because they have all those little rollers, so the more features means more time to load. This is taking a really long time. Read and responded to a text, and still. I should do this thing where if I close my eyes and open them, it might be done a little faster. I'm gonna get more water while I wait for this. No, I hope this doesn't crash. I should have saved. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, take it nice and slow and save my assembly before I do anything more with this Omni wheel. Okay, cool. And I just realized when I loaded this Omni wheel that it is missing the Versa hubs. So I'm going to need to incorporate those as well, which is annoying. But if we were using Onshape, it would already be there in the library for me. It's not usually quite this slow, but recording everything is definitely slowing down my computer a bit. Let me find the Versa hub. I want to get this in under an hour. Explorer, there we go. This shouldn't take as long. I'll close that Omni wheel. Actually, the Omni wheel part's probably not helping with my speed right now. That's not what I want. Okay, Hex Hub installed. We just put one on the other side just to. I could always mirror it, but I'd have to create a plane. It's probably easier just to insert this guy. That's not what I want. Okay. Let's make this guy, and give them 1/4 of an inch. All right, at last. All right, now let's pattern this guy to the other sides, and we should be done under the hour mark. Components to mirror will be all 3 of these. It's not letting me. Here, I'll find you. We will. And then I believe we are looking at plane number dose. Zoom out a little bit. To make these in line, I would have slid in a spacer in this area. Okay, last step. Whew. Home stretch. Okay, at least it auto-selected all that stuff for me, which is great. That's a big time saver. Okay, and we are done. Let's hit the stop button on this guy. 56 minutes, 55 minutes, just under an hour to do this guy. So, you know, for DriveTrain, not too bad. Definitely had to deal with a lot of nonsense to get this finished in terms of just waiting for stuff to load. But, you know, it's not the worst. Now, if I wanted to get this uploaded onto GrabCAD, I'd have to move all the files into a GrabCAD folder or share the folder I've created on GrabCAD, which, is not the end of the world, but can be a little bit irritating. I'll leave it alone. I'm not going to do that right now because you guys already know how that works. So I'm not going, and you know kind of the annoying parts about it. So I'm not going to go through it right now. Now this is, okay, here we go. Yeah, so that's it for the SolidWorks portion. Next, I will be doing the same thing, but in Onshape.